Previously, this was my favorite scene of clones turning on the Jedi. And I still remember how that felt watching that all those years ago in the movie theaters watching Revenge of the Sith. But now this is by far my favorite scene when it comes to clones turning on Jedi. It was extremely powerful and I got extremely emotional by it, and when I finally watched it, I realized why the beginning of this season had such an emphasis. The first couple episodes were focused on clones and Rex, and he was almost the main character in those. And then after that, it was Ahsoka, because the ending of the story was a focus on both these characters. It was having them be the main characters and exactly what happened to them. We already know in Rebels that they survived, but how? And it makes sense that they would have episodes at the beginning of season 7 that would basically flesh them out even more and show us exactly what they were up to before all this shit went down. But Rex and Ahsoka's relationship is extremely beautiful, and I was completely floored when I saw Order 66, when I heard the original audio from Revenge of the Sith that they were all hearing. That just got me. It was extremely nostalgic, but nostalgia done correctly. And then after that, we even get a nod to a couple nods, actually 2 nods to Rogue One. We get one where Ahsoka is trying to find the inhibitor chip, and she is chanting the same thing that the monk chanted in Rogue One. And then we had a hallway scene with Darth Maul that is by far Darth Maul's greatest feat, in my opinion. It's the coolest that he's ever been. And then the next episode is essentially them trying to escape, and we even get exactly what Rex is going through. He's crying in front of Ahsoka because these are still his brothers, and it seems like the Emperor just threw away the clones. He betrayed the clones. The clones were fighting alongside the Jedi for years, and they were all very battle hardened, and they're actually people. And then once the inhibitor chips turned on, it's like it just betrayed them. Darth Maul destroying the hyperdrive for the ship was actually something I didn't see coming, and the ship coming out of hyperspace and being completely destroyed and getting pulled in by a moon was also really cool. And it just was very symbolic as to the Republic falling. That's exactly what it was. It was the Republic's last ship with clones on it was also falling and crashing and burning. And we definitely got a lot of good action in that episode. The last episode was extremely fulfilling, action-packed, and it was definitely one of my favorite episodes. These last 4 episodes could have been a movie. And at the very end, we get to see the actual human cost of what Palpatine did and the Clone Wars. I mean, we've seen the clones as people through the Clone Wars series. I mean, in the prequels, we don't really get to see them like that, but in the Clone Wars series, we do. And they are treated with that respect at the end of the series. They are found in the ship and put in graves with tombstones, which was beautiful. Honestly, it was very respectful for exactly what the Clone Wars series was, and the fact that these were people to Ahsoka. Basically, Ahsoka grew up with all these clones with Rex. That's what she saved Rex, and so watching her see the graves was very depressing. It was as depressing as the end of Revenge of the Sith, which I need to watch now. Like, it's a must. After this series, after this episode, you have to watch Revenge of the Sith. Gotta watch it again. And Ahsoka leaves the Jedi for good at that point. She drops her lightsaber and just leaves, which I loved, because she ends up picking up Inquisitor lightsabers later down the line. But yeah, I like the fact that she ended up just rejecting everything. She hated everything after that. Like, she was just so depressed and sad, and at some point she ends up leaving Rex and they end up going their own ways. But it was beautiful. It was awesome. And I know I've said beautiful a few times, because it was awesome. It was a very beautiful and gorgeous series ending. And then we get the best part, which is Darth Vader coming down, and it looks like the Empire found the ship and they're maybe like scrapping it, and Anakin, or Darth Vader, knows that this is the ship that Ahsoka was on, because he remembers the Legion that he gave her and the face paint that was on their helmets. He goes up to it and he finds her lightsaber. He turns it on. It's extremely depressing. And then he just walks away. And we get an omen too of a bird. I think I've seen that bird in Rebels. I think I've seen that bird after the Darth Vader versus Ahsoka fight. When Darth Vader came out of the crypt, I think that same bird was flying around. So yes, it was great. It was a great ending. And right now is the best time to jump into, if they're going to continue Clone Wars in the same style, like, or a new series in the Clone Wars style, they need to focus on Darth Vader. They focus this season on Ahsoka and Rex. If they started a new series in the Clone Wars style, it needs to be about Darth Vader. We've gotten so many different hints from different things like video games, Rogue One, Fallen Order, Rebels. Like, all these different shows have had Darth Vader in it, but we've never seen a story about him, and I think it is time. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to be Nerdscape signing off. Take care, guys.